It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, Hoops fans. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny, the Jet, the champion, Smith, and Shaquille, the Diesel, the champion several times, O'Neal. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. And on tap tonight, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves going up against the Knicks in New York. For the Knicks, they've been looking forward to this game and have to be anxious to tip it off. They've been pretty tight-lipped about the game plan coming in, but very soon we'll find out what approach they're going to take. Andrew Wiggins making strides in his game last season, scoring from all over the floor now, and more importantly, scoring with efficiency. What was the change you saw, Shaq, in his approach?
Well, I like this kid. He's, Ernie, really a quiet assassin. The three-point shot was clicking for him. Much more space to operate with an outside game. This kid can do it all. Oh, Canada, you better stand on guard for he.
Oh, I like that.
How come nobody's ever described as a noisy assassin?
Good point, Ernie.
Anyway, back to Andrew Wiggins.
Well, does a good job of drawing fouls as well, getting to the free throw line.
You know what?
Quietly gets to the free throw line.
You know what we also did?
What's
Anytime
that?
you get the guy to start the music early, you know you've done your job.
There it is.
Let's send it to Kevin Harlan.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We've got the Minnesota Timberwolves facing the New York Knicks. We welcome you this Thursday evening as we get set for some exciting NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. And David Aldridge will be on our sideline tonight reporting. And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, you know, sometimes it can be a problem when you have as much talent as the Timberwolves do on their team. And it's a lot of offensive talent as well. So are there enough touches for everybody? Now, Karl Anthony Towns says yes. He says, no matter what, we are all going to eat. There is enough food on the table for all of us. Kevin, this is always a problem for you, but we're going to let you eat first.
All right, D, not a problem. I ordered more than enough for all of us. And for the two teams tonight, the one thing they share in common, both on cold streaks, both are struggling right now. Doris, once you've lost a certain amount of confidence, how do you switch things around? How do you turn the tide?
Well, though it's difficult, you have got to maintain your belief and trust in one another through the struggles. Use the pain as fuel to greater effort.
So the Timberwolves win the tip. And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. And it's Teague in at the 1 spot. And so here is New York after Jimmy Butler missed from long range. Here's Ntilikina. Pass to Hardaway. New York moving the ball around. Here's Ntilikina. Here's Anthony, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. There's the foul. That's against Minnesota.
You know, he's so tough to defend without fouling. Melo puts the defenders in tough spots.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And Doris, at the end of last season, the Timberwolves debuted their rebrand plans for this season.
Well, it was the right time, I think, to keep the logo fresh, and the team did a great job. You feel as if this will be the constant look for what is a new era in Minnesota basketball.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
You know, that's an interesting point about Carmelo, one of the most prolific free throw shooters in the history of the game. Spends a lot of time at the stripe.
Now here's Towns. Over Hernan Gomez. Another shot, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. Outside Hardaway. That's in there. Anthony with the assist.
You know, you love your star players making others better, and Melo with the vision there.
T kicks to Butler. And now just over a minute played here in the first. Gibson the screen. Just 5 on the clock. Hardaway with the steal. Wiggins against Anthony. Wasted no time on that one.
Boy, Melo has made a name for himself with his mid-range game, and you can see why right there.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And Towns gets it to go.
Well, listen, there's no one around him, and he says thank you very much. Wide open look at 3, as easy as that.
They set the screen. Hernan Gomez kicks to Porzingis. Dishes it to Carmelo. Over T, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. That one is on Towns. And beyond his ability to shine on the basketball floor, you have to commend Carmelo Anthony's effort, Greg, to get NBA players and other athletes more involved in making the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but guys like Melo see what is beyond the world of basketball. He's spoken out as well as done the legwork of being active in his communities, and a lot of charity work for Melo. It's just nice to see the maturation process play out.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls.
You know, you just look back on the way Melo's game has evolved over his career. Certainly a couple of changes. He uses his outside shot far more often now that he is more comfortable with his 3. And not as many fouls drawn, but he still does a really good job attacking the rim.
And Anthony drops them both. And think about Melo's game over the years, Doris. He's made adjustments, but overall he has remained incredibly consistent in what his strengths are.
Well, this guy is a tremendous scorer from the mid-range. You can post him on the low block. You certainly don't score 20 points per game every season in your career without having multiple tools at your disposal.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Pass to Hernan Gomez. They set the pick. Anthony kicks to Hernan Gomez. Tries again. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
I'll tell you, you have to have a nose for the ball. Picking up points on the offensive glass, that is the relentlessness Willie is known for.
Towns the screen. Wiggins outside. He kicks it to Butler. Over Hardaway. Butler, no good. New York leading by 8. Hardaway with it. Butler covering. Pass to Ntilikina. Now Hernan Gomez. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Ntilikina over Butler. And again, it's New York.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how they built this lead. They played as one, shared the basketball, running their offense to perfection.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
And Tim Hardaway Jr. the son of a former all-star point guard. Junior, not maybe the same ball handler his father was, but he can sure fill it up. And I really feel like he's established his niche in the NBA.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. T kicks to Butler. Over Hardaway. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And Hardaway Jr., a 6'6" shooting guard out of Michigan. Talk about his game a little bit for us, Greg. Analyze where he is.
Above average in terms of his athletic ability, improving defensively, and right now he's playing off the ball, whether spotting up or filling the lane. I think this guy's got a chance to be special. He's passionate, and boy, does he compete.
Now here's Anthony. Jeff Teague unable to get his shot to go. Outside, Porzingis hands it from downtown. Porzingis has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
Towns, the screen. And count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Well, battling hard. That's an impressive move by Towns. He'll go to the stripe. Boy, how bright is the future for Karl Anthony Towns? The guy's already putting up 25 and 12 in his second year. This guy led every big man in double-doubles last year. He dominates every category you want a big man to impact.
One shot, find the lanes.
And talking about Towns, Doris, in his double-doubles last season, ended up being third overall amongst all players, trailing only Westbrook and Harden. Not bad company at all.
Well, yeah, there's no question. It's amazing to me, Kev, how easy Karl Anthony Towns makes it look. He puts huge numbers up on a nightly basis, and to be honest, he's going to be regarded very soon as the best big man in the league.
Now here's Teague, following the miss by Carmelo Anthony. Butler kicks to Teague. Towns, the screen. Three-pointer, Butler. Timberwolves keep it alive, and the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. And so here is New York. Now the pass to Anthony. Goes up on the wing. That one wide left.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
The putback, it's good on the putback.
No second chance bucket, right? You have to put a body on Towns or he'll devastate you.
Anthony with the screen on Wiggins. Hernan Gomez passes to Porzingis. He feeds it to Anthony. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Timberwolves trail by 8. Outside Teague. Feeds to Butler. Clock at 6. hits the front of the rim and out.
And out of rhythm offensively, but he continues to work at it.
Well, you can see he's sputtering a bit, but he's trying to get going. I do like that he's continuing to be aggressive.
Anthony can't hit.
He's trying to make something happen, but obviously been a tough quarter.
Teague kicks to Wiggins. There's the screen. Towns the screen. Off the screen. And that one's good. Wiggins.
Well, there's that in-between game, right? Wiggins silky smooth from the start.
Outside Anthony. Shot to stop the drought. Passes it to Hernan Gomez. Hardaway against Butler. And Hardaway gets it to go. Hardaway has got 5 now.
I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
Outside Teague. Gibson the screen. Teague dishes to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
How about that? That is exactly how you thread the needle. Jeff Teague demonstrating incredible vision.
Anthony, the pass to Porzingis. Back to Anthony. Over Wiggins. Here's Hernan Gomez. Towns with the defensive effort.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
And Gibson kicks to Teague. Towns a screen on Anthony. Shoots off the screen. Up again. And it's Towns on the follow. He's got 12.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Outside Anthony. To the inside. And he slams it one-handed.
You know, and that was a nice find by KP. Saw the open man. He was on time, on target with the pass. Perfect.
Outside Teague. Now here's Towns. He's guarded closely. And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession. And a new group in for the Knicks. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Kuzminskis comes in for Porzingis. Lee's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Baker in for Ntilikina. And then for Minnesota, Jang, he's checked in for Gibson. Crawford comes in for Andrew Wiggins. And Tyus Jones subbed in for Jeff Teague. There's Baker. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. Doris, you talk about versatility of players, but as a broadcaster, you've been a courtside reporter, game analyst, a studio host, you name it.
One shot, gentlemen.
What do you prefer to do? What do you like most?
There's no question about it, Kev. The analyst role is the absolute most fun. Now, the only thing that might push that over the top is to sit beside the great Kevin Harlan.
And coming out of the offseason where the Knicks had a really long to-do list, you knew they were going to shake things up and made some moves in free agency and realized they needed to build around Porzingis going forward. They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Butler against Anthony. Baseline jumper. They get the rebound. Towns. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Baker kicks to Lee. Looking for Anthony and gets it there. The shot missing. Some solid defense from Butler.
If he were shooting a bit better tonight, they'd be much further ahead in the scoreboard.
Now the dish to Jones. Here's Jang. And the shot falls short this time.
Boy, I'll tell you, he has plenty of space, but it looked like a little bit of a hitch in that release.
He in the post, guarded by Crawford. They get it back. O'Quinn dishes to Lee. Screen by Lee. Courtney Lee is on the wing. And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Here's Baker, defended by Jones. They set the pick. Baker kicks to Lee. 5 on the clock. New York, no good that time either. Minnesota with the ball. They're on a 13-5 run. Outside, Jones. Back to Butler. Timberwolves passing it around. Jang, a screen. Left side, Jones. Crawford outside. Buries it from three-point range.
There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't D him up on the perimeter.
Baker kicks to Anthony. Pass to Kuzminskis. Butler against Anthony. Over to the wing. Here's Baker. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. The Timberwolves trail. Jones, no one around him. And that misses. That would have put him up. Here's Anthony. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. Anthony's got 8.
You know what? Struggling a little bit, but I do command the effort. 2 of 8 from the field. Let's see if that one gets him going.
Crawford kicks to Butler. He scores, and he's off the schneid with that basket. 1 for 7 on a tough night for him.
Boy, that's high percentage range for Jimmy Butler. I'll tell you, he'll work you over in there.
There's Baker. Pass to Kuzminskis. Anthony right side. From 13. Here's Kuzminskis. Over Aldrich. Kuzminskis, no good. Outside, Jones. Inside. Aldrich, no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Knicks lead by 2. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And a guy who seems to improve every season, Jimmy Butler. He spoke with us about one of his biggest surprises.
It's crazy because I never thought that anybody would be preparing to guard me night in and night out. But they do. I have to learn to cope with that and still find a way to be successful on both ends of the floor. And it's a learning curve for me also, but I'm figuring it out.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player, and if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Knicks?
Yeah, it didn't take them long to get that transition game going.
Not at all. Every time they get the ball, they're looking to burn the defense in transition.
We've got Baker. Noah is out there with Kyle O'Quinn. Then it's Lee, and it's Kuzminskis in at the 3. They're the group. New York will start the second. Now, here's O'Quinn. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. The Timberwolves shooting not great, 40% for the game. Here's Jones. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Or some players, no matter how hard they try, can't make free throws in games. You spent a lot of your playing time at the line, playing guard for Providence. Why do you think this mental block is there for some players?
It's amazing the power of the mind relative to sports performance, right, Kevin?
Yes.
Because I do believe very often this can be much more about the mental than the physical side of it. Think back to Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, guys who are physically massive, and they say the size of their hand impacts their ability to shoot it. But to me, there is no question about it that sometimes it's just you're afraid. It's like the yips in golf. You just can't figure it out. And it becomes a scary place to be, standing alone on the free throw line.
Good comparison. And so Jones nails both of them.
And in last season, the Knicks raised expectations with some of those big free agent signings and trades in the prior year. And let's face it, things just didn't work out quite how they had planned. Some would say they underachieved. Hard pill to swallow for a fan base that went into the year with so much hope.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, analytics has taken over the NBA, but Minnesota coach and president of basketball operations Tom Thibodeau says it doesn't tell you everything. He said analytics can measure a lot of things, but it's very difficult to measure drive. The magic is in the work. Kevin?
And Tom Thibodeau makes a good point, D.A. Analytics is certainly helpful, but it doesn't capture everything. He dishes it to Jang. Wants to get it to Butler and does. Out of bounds, New York takes possession. And a big problem for the Knicks in their shortcomings last season was their defense.
Yeah, and listen, they have some shot blocking, but as a whole, the defense lacked teeth. More than anything else, it played a part in the disappointment of last season's campaign, and it's something they'll be focusing on in the coming year.
Now here's Noah. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Kuzminski's in the corner. No good with the triple. Timberwolves shooting has been a little ragged, just 38% from the field. And Jones has it in the corner. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
Playing with lots of energy here, trying to cause turnovers.
I love the tenacity right now. Definitely on the prowl, looking for every opportunity to make a steal. The other team has got to be sharp.
Yep, that one goes in there. Butler's got the lead up to 2 now for the Timberwolves.
And Kev, that's the explosiveness we talk about. Butler, even in traffic, draining the highly contested shot. Wow.
So they take the lead. Kuzminskis has got 5 now.
Obviously, he's not the top priority for the defense in those situations. It results in an open 3.
Outside Butler. Kicks to Jones. There's the 3. They get it back. Aldridge. Great defense that time from Noah.
Boy, the defense collapsing, throwing him off balance on his way to the cup.
Lee kicks to Baker. Kick by O'Quinn. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Jimmy Butler. The Knicks haven't yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
Shooting 2.
No good on that one. And for all their youth and players who can get out and run, this Timberwolves team, Doris, near the bottom of the league in terms of pace.
Well, I think they want to take any easy transition scores they can get, but otherwise they're going to look to set it up because this is how Coach Tom Thibodeau has always done things. It's an offensive approach that has worked for them.
He hits the second from the line. The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. There's the pick. T kicks to Crawford from downtown. Knicks with the rebound. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Lee with the ball. Now defended by Wiggins. Hands it from downtown. Ntilikina's got 7.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Now here's Wiggins. And he uses the glass on the layup.
When you talk about technique, Cole Aldridge knows how to set the appropriate screen.
The pass to Porzingis. There's Baker, guarded by Crawford. There's the pick. Baker passes to Noah. Shot clock at 6. Here's Porzingis. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Porzingis has got his second basket of the game.
You know, Porzingis' size obviously will make him a threat at the rim, but that athleticism a problem as well.
Teague dishes to Wiggins. Porzingis with the block. All sorts of time. Rebound by Jang. Timberwolves trail by 5. Outside Teague. The feed to Jang. Jang, a screen. Here's Crawford. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good. Crawford's got 4 points this quarter.
Shakes his man by using exceptional use of the screen. I mean, from there, it's smooth sailing.
Porzingis, that's a 2. Rebound, Minnesota.
Yeah, blown opportunity after the two-man game creates a terrific look.
Well, he simply misfired. I mean, you've got to capitalize when the screen opens up wide-open shots like that.
Aldridge in the post, working on Noah. Aldridge kicks to Crawford. Jang, a screen. Crawford passes to Teague. He nails it, and we're tied up. Teague's got his first 3 points of the game.
Well, you simply cannot allow Jeff Teague any separation because the release is too good and too fast.
Pass to Ntilikina. Passes it to Baker. Lee outside. New York moving the ball around. New York needs to get off a shot. Not often you see him take that shot. And the Knicks lead by 3.
Okay, you got a nice little back and forth going here.
Well, I love how personal this thing is getting. If you drain a 3 on me, anything you can do, I can do better.
Now here's Wiggins. Outside Teague. On the wing, Wiggins. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. New York leading by 3. Dishes to Noah. Pass to Ntilikina. Noah with a screen on Teague. Feeds it to Noah. Lee outside. Pass to Porzingis. Over Jang. That doesn't go either for Porzingis.
Well, I wouldn't say the D was exceptional, but it certainly was enough to bother him.
Wiggins kicks to Teague. He feeds it to Jang. Back to Teague. The dish to Jang. Here's the pass to Teague. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. And that one's good. Wiggins.
Now, sometimes Wiggins better off when he doesn't have to put the ball on the deck.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first.
I would say Jeff Teague's jump shot is solid, maybe not elite, but one area where he is elite, guys, for a point guard is getting to the free throw line. Over the last 4 years, consider this, almost 5 trips to the foul line a game.
And Teague, an all-star in 2015. He is blazingly quick.
He really is, Gav. He's got that great first step, and as aggressively as this guy plays, he keeps a very mellow disposition. You rarely see this guy act ruffled.
Different look for New York. Hernan Gomez is checked in for Porzingis. Anthony comes in for Courtney Lee. And Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for Baker. Timberwolves also changing it up. Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Aldridge. And Taj Gibson is subbed in for Gorgie Dang. Minnesota's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Towns sets the pick for T. Towns high post. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. The Knicks shooting around 36%. They're just not able to finish consistently. Here's Ntilikina. He's got 7. He kicks it to Hardaway. He dishes it to Anthony. Over Wiggins. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
Now, great look on that. Just a little out of rhythm.
Yeah, he looked like he forced that a little bit. Just needs to take his time. Got to make these shots right now.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Anthony against Wiggins. Down low is Hernan Gomez. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. That one is on Towns.
Now, how about the vision of Joakim Noah wastes no time delivering that pass? How about Willie Hernan Gomez, right? The Spanish player comes over for his rookie year in 2017. He has certainly showed flashes. This guy has got legit size, and he's only going to improve as he gets comfortable.
One shot, gentlemen.
And for Hernan Gomez, actually was brought in at the request of his frontline mate, Porzingis. Hernan Gomez, Doris, still finding his way, but has a solid foundation.
Well, I think, Kevin, you can see the footwork and awareness on the offensive end are both solid. One big area for him to improve, though, Kev, would be his play on the defensive end. He's shown that he can handle steady minutes and be a contributor, but that's got to be better.
Anthony with the screen on Wiggins. Kicks to Noah. Pass to Hernan Gomez. To the left side wing. Noah with a screen on Wiggins. Here's Ntilikina. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Ntilikina's got 5 points now in the quarter. Towns, the screen. Crawford dishes to Towns. Now the feed to Wiggins. Over Anthony. And it's Wiggins missing.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
I'm not sure why he doesn't continue to move the basketball. Would have served that team much better.
Well, something you never like to see, but guys, he definitely looks hurt.
And boy, this really doesn't look good. Just the way it happened.
Boy, it's got to be so frustrating for him. As hard as he has worked, doing everything he can to help his team, just heartbreaking, Greg.
Some changes for Minnesota. Jimmy Butler comes in for Wiggins, and Tyus Jones subbed in for Jamal Crawford.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
First free throw is good. Or who are some of the guys that surprise you with their toughness on a nightly basis in the NBA?
You know, you have to think historically, pound for pound in the history of the NBA, the toughest single guy was Allen Iverson. For me, the current iteration, and I'm not saying that Isaiah Thomas is Allen Iverson. They're drastically different players because Isaiah doesn't have that kind of athleticism that AI had early. But Isaiah at 5'9", to continually find his way into the paint, to be willing to attack the bigs, to absorb the kind of pounding he does, and get himself into the MVP conversation, Kevin, really, that was incredible.
LeBron probably takes, for a guy his size, to think he can dish it out. But I'm telling you, I think he gets whacked all the time.
I think, Kevin, this is the single hardest guy in the NBA to officiate today. And frankly, I do not believe LeBron James goes to the foul line as much as he deserves.
And so it's Minnesota with it, following the score by New York. Here's Towns. No good off the front iron. The Knicks leading by 6. 1:29 left in the first half of basketball. Anthony right side. Plenty of daylight on that shot. Anthony's got 10 points in the game.
Well, this is a guy who understands his role in their offense, right? And they know exactly how to use him.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Here's Ntilikina. He's got 9. Pass to O'Quinn. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
You know, I think if you look back at what has caused the Knicks' shortcomings the last few seasons, it's got to be on the defensive end, right? You can't protect the rim except for Kristaps Porzingis. Near the bottom in defensive efficiency, all not good.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
The first one falls. And for the Knicks, it certainly passes the eye test to say their problems come on the defensive end.
Oh, I mean, there's no doubt it's a problem they know they need to address, and they've tried to bring in defenders because it's been such a weakness. It has to be a total culture shift, though, to me as well, Kev. Defense has got to be a priority for the organization.
And he can't hit the second.
You know, with the influx of talent that the Wolves have had the last handful of years, they feel a pressure to win. Fans are wondering when all that talent will mature. Expectations are being raised for this group.
Now here's Teague. Rebounded by Hardaway. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and gameplay. To the wing right side. Dishes to Anthony. Down low. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Here's Butler. Lets a floater go. That one doesn't drop. And so that's the end of the first half. New York ahead, up by 7. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Andrew, they shot the lights out in the first half. What has to change?
Get back. You know, focus on getting back, guarding your man, and not taking these real.
It starts with a man-on-man challenge. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. For the Knicks, the first quarter was pretty even. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. They gathered some serious momentum in the second quarter, and as well as they played, it's a little bit of a surprise that their lead isn't more than 7 points here at the half. Hey, big fella, what's your take on New York so far?
Well, they got a nice advantage in the free throw department. I wish I was a shooter. They've been the one taking the direct approach. They're driving the lane, being physical, and forcing the opposing D into tight spots. And that's got them a lot of points at the line and the lead.
Kenny, let's get your insight on the Timberwolves.
to me, they looked out of sync shooting the basketball. Under 40% for the first half. Some of it was poor shot selection, but mostly it just looked like they were out of rhythm. For the second half, they need to push more for buckets in transition. Get to the foul line a little bit more. Try to get back in the flow.
And now, folks, just moments away from the start of the third quarter.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Karl Anthony Towns has been sensational.
And I loved in that first half that they were patient, looked for good shots, and knocked them down.
You know, I think, Greg, they never settled for the first look. It was always about, let's get the best shot possible. Really good judgment on the offensive end.
The second half just about to get going here. And so here is New York. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. Taj Gibson is out there with Jones, and it's Jang in at the 5. Now Teague, following the Porzingis miss from deep. Jones kicks to Butler. Gibson with the screen on Hardaway. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Butler. Butler missing again. New York leading by 7. Hardaway kicks to Porzingis. Trying to find Hernan Gomez. Gets it to him. Over Gibson. Hernan Gomez, no good. Timberwolves shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. Outside Teague. From the corner. The Knicks pull it in.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Ntilikina gets the bucket.
Yeah, I love seeing him shoot from that spot. Ntilikina has shown he has a consistent mid-range jump shot if he can just create space.
Now here's Butler. Jang a screen. Teague for 3. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Teague's got his second bucket tonight.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Right. The effort could have been so much better. You've got to be willing to fight through that screen. There's no question about it.
And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Jones kicks to Butler. To the middle. Knocks it loose. Outside Hardaway. Over Butler. On target from 13 feet. Hardaway has got 9.
Well, he just creates enough separation to get a quality look from the mid-range.
T kicks to Jones. Feeds to Butler. Jang with a screen on Hardaway. Back to Jones. Gibson setting the pick for Jones. Over Porzingis. Jones, no luck.
They've got to start working for better shots. Just 1 for 4 in the second half so far.
And Frank Ntilikina out of France, played pro ball in Germany, and a lot of fans in the U.S. might not be as familiar with him, but for NBA execs and scouts, that's their job. Ntilikina has a game worthy of their attention.
Now here's Porzingis. He's got 5. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. 8 points for him.
I love the determination he showed there, getting himself into good position under the glass.
With the presence of mind to know just where the rebound was going to come down. Well timed. And the Timberwolves call time in a draft stocked with point guards. Ntilikina's court vision, Greg, might be the best of them all.
I mean, he's a true, pure point guard. At the same time, a good shooter. The length to defend wings, so that versatility makes him one of the more valuable prospects.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Aldridge is checked in. Timberwolves trail by 10. Time now for an injury report. Let's find out the news on Andrew Wiggins. David, what's the update?
Hi, guys. The head athletic trainer for the Timberwolves let me know the status. The word is he has strained his Achilles tendon. He won't return to this game, and he could be looking at a very long recovery process. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thanks. Well, guys, certainly not the news his fans were hoping for.
And not at all. I mean, it sounds like he's got a long road ahead of him in terms of his recovery.
And our hearts go out to him. The guy works so hard. His teammates love him. Coaches love him. He's going to be missed.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. But he is not resting on his laurels. He said, I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times. Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player. Outside, Jones. Now here's Teague. He's guarded close.
Now, Kevin, to me, this is about decision-making. And Jeff Teague's so good at creating opportunities to get to the free throw line.
And Jeff Teague coming over to the Timberwolves in free agency. Greg, the team felt he was the perfect fit.
You know, and it seemed for a while the Wolves had wanted to kind of mix things up at that point guard position. And you knew they had someone in mind when they dealt both Rubio and Dunn in the offseason. Teague was their man
Take a break.
all along.
Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, there's so much value in how Jeff Teague runs an offense. He's got great speed. He plays hard on both ends of the floor. I think any organization would be lucky to have this guy.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Kuzminskis, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Lee comes in for Anthony, and it's Baker in for Ntilikina. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
You know, it seems a little to me like the mystique of this building that the Knicks call home can be overwhelming at times, right? So many great games played here, perhaps the most iconic floor in all the NBA.
Here's Lee outside. Good on the triple. Lee's got the lead up to 13 now for the Knicks.
Remarkable speed by Lee. Really gets a shot up quickly.
Butler on the wing, covered by Lee. Aldridge, the pass to Butler. 6 to shoot. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. They get Courtney Lee. And with this mecca of basketball, there certainly have been more than a few incredible moments that played out in front of these fans. Doris, growing up a Knicks fan as you have, what great moments stick out to you most in this terrific building?
Well, there's so many to choose from, whether it was Allen Houston's floater in the lane, Willis Reed coming out of the tunnel to play in Game 7, or, of course, Patrick Ewing leading the Knicks to the NBA Finals in 1994.
And the first one drops.
Well, listen, Kev, we know this. Getting to the line has become such a big part of Jimmy Butler's game. I can't help but admire how he has put together a complete package of an NBA game. It's really a thing of beauty.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Taj Gibson. And so Butler nails both of them.
And watching Jimmy Butler, he just offers so much on offense from a scoring standpoint. You know, obviously he can get to the rack and draw the defense to him. Also really improved his ability to knock it down from beyond. Just a complete offensive player.
Now here's Porzingis. He has 7. Picked by Lee. Hardaway kicks to Baker. And poor shot selection there. Not a high percentage look for him. Teague left side. They set the pick. Towns dishes to Teague. "11 feet away. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Teague's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Timberwolves. The Knicks have gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. And Greg, as you said, Butler is a threat to score from any part of the floor.
It's a bit of a dying art, though, hitting that mid-range jump shot. Butler also does a great job of getting to the line. That's increased over the course of his career. Just a well-rounded offensive player.
Now here's Teague following the miss by Porzingis. Three-pointer, Butler, they grab their own miss. Doesn't get it to drop for him. The Knicks leading by 9. Hardaway for 3. Here's Porzingis, and a good offensive board, and he gets the bucket. Porzingis has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, Mr. Porzingis, nice to know you're not afraid to mix it up. Boy, you got to love that grit and hustle.
And the Timberwolves call time here.
And watching Porzingis play, you know, you forget how tall he really is in terms of how he moves. You know, not only how quick he is, but also that skill set. Incredible that a player his size won the skills competition in last year's All-Star festivities.
And that is what fools a lot of NBA fans about Porzingis. Most of the highlights, Greg, you see are his blocks and putback dunks. But if you watch his game, you see that skill level.
It's rare to see a player who's the complete package like Porzingis. I mean, he's fluid. He's got the easy-looking shot. It almost looks like he's a guard shooting the basketball, comfortable creating for himself or playing off others.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Cole Aldridge. On defense, New York. Outside Teague. Pass to Butler. The dish to Gibson. Over Porzingis. It'll go, and the New York lead is cut to just 9 on the basket from Gibson.
If Taj Gibson gets around the rack, you understand this guy is going to make an opportunity.
Butler against Hardaway. Baker kicks to Lee. New York moving it around. A three-pointer is right on target. Kuzminskis has got 8 points. Timberwolves trail by 12. Towns sets the pick for Teague. He feeds it to Butler. And there's the pass to Towns. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. Porzingis has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Baker passes to Porzingis. Screen by Porzingis. Outside Hardaway. Porzingis kicks to Baker. Clock at 6. There's Lee with the 3. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Towns down low. He's against Porzingis. Well, Towns does so many things on the floor. Already an elite post scorer. But, Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're in prove how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
And he can't get the first one.
Well, you just love the way Cat carries himself. I'll say this, he knows what work is.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Porzingis. So he comes up empty, missing both.
And they came out of the locker room after halftime with a much more physical approach than what we saw in that first half.
Now here is Hardaway. They lead by the biggest margin of the game, 15 points. And Kuzminskis gets it to go.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
Here's Teague. 10 points for him. He kicks to Towns. To end the run. Towns sets the pick for Crawford. Over Hardaway. That one wide left.
Just a little hesitation on that release, right? His timing looked a bit off.
O'Quinn with it. Picked by O'Quinn. And the rejection by Towns.
A terrific effort by Towns. Sticks with the play and sends it back.
Crawford, no luck. The Knicks leading by 18. Here's Baker. O'Quinn dishes to Lee. Passes it to Baker. Hardaway kicks to Kuzminskis. Outside Hardaway. From deep three-point range. And again, New York with the triple.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Now here's Crawford. He has 7. 1:53 left in the third quarter. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Crawford's got 10.
Boy, you can't pin their struggles today on him. He's been on fire from the field.
Lee against Butler. Lee passes to Baker. Hardaway kicks to Kuzminskis. Hardaway against Crawford. Pass to Baker. Shoots a 3. Good, and the assist goes to Hardaway. 7 points in the game.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Timberwolves trail by 21. Crawford dishes to Towns. 1:03 left in the third quarter of the game. No good on that one.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Count that one.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Now here's Teague. He's got 10. Here's Gibson. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick. Gibson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
It doesn't take a ton of time for Gibson to get that shot off. I love how aggressive he's pulling the trigger.
Lee against Butler. Hardaway from outside. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
Well, he's one of those guys who's kept their offense clicking. They're in front thanks in no small part to what this guy's done.
Teague kicks to Crawford. He dishes it to Butler. Lee with the steal. And now the Knicks on the break. Here's Baker. The teardrop falls in.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
T kicks to Gibson. They set the pick. Crawford passes to Towns. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Towns has got 20.
Towns is not fully developed at this point. Scouts feel someday he'll play in the 260, 270 range.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. New York ahead, running away with it. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Come on, man. Let's get that lead. Got to get the ball moving. Get the ball moving.
Tom Thibodeau pushing his guys, wants to see a higher level of activity on offense.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a position to make a move right now. Coach feels that'll come through unselfish play, not hero ball.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Hardaway Jr. and Melo are the wings. Noah is out there with Hernan Gomez, and it's Ntilikina in at the point. That's the 5 for New York right now. Here's Ntilikina. Out left to the wing. Takes a 3. And Jones pulls it down. The Timberwolves shooting has been a little ragged, just 38% from the field. Kicks to Towns. Over Anthony. Another miss by Towns. Here's Ntilikina. Off the mark and a bad shot there. Outside, Jones. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Crawford outside from past the arc. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Crawford. New York's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. The feed to Carmelo. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. 6 on the shot clock. Hernan Gomez kicks to Anthony. There's the triple. And the Knicks miss again. For Minnesota, they've gone 0 of 3 to start the fourth quarter. There's a screen. Dishes it to Gibson. Feeds it to Butler. A stupendous finish in traffic. Butler's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Timberwolves. Here's Ntilikina. Anthony on the wing. Here's the dish to Noah. Here's Hardaway. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
You know, he's working on his inside game, but clearly there's still a little more work to do.
Butler dishes to Towns. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Gibson with the screen on Anthony. Butler goes in. He shoots again. Bucket is good. Butler's got 4 this quarter.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
They set the pick. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Now Noah. He feeds it to Anthony. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got rebound number 13 with that last one.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Now here's Gibson. Crawford kicks to Towns. Right side, Butler. Over Anthony. And Jimmy Butler again.
And sometimes we've got to give credit to the Butler, refining his mid-range Jimmy doing work.
Anthony with the screen on Gibson. Noah kicks to Anthony. And the rejection by Towns. Jones for 3, drills the three-pointer.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
The pass to Noah. Outside Hardaway. Pass to Carmelo. Back to Noah. Pass to Ntilikina. Trying to get back on track. New York, no good that time either.
He's cold from deep. 0 threes in the second half after hitting just 1 in the first.
Jones kicks to Gibson. Screen by Jones. Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
You know, this kind of scoring performance is going to have defenses reacting to Towns the way they did to Anthony Davis.
Anthony on the wing, defended by Butler. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to go on Tyus Jones.
And the Timberwolves, a team that is evolving how you imagine they would with Tibbs running things here. Deliberate approach on both ends of the floor and really looking to dominate the rebounding margins.
Two shots.
And he knocks down the first one. Greg, in the areas you just talked about, rebounding and pace, the Timberwolves are very much where they want to be.
Yeah, the team just looks to make the most out of their possessions and try to beat you through efficiency. They have players that can get easy transition points when the opportunity presents itself. But in general, they aren't trying to speed the game up.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
Well, you think about Tom Thibodeau as the architect of so many great defensive teams. For Minnesota, it took some time on the defensive end, but he feels like this team is starting to turn a corner on that end.
Minnesota calls timeout. And for Thibodeau, you simply can't play for him unless you exert maximum effort on defense. Doris, he can be tough, but fair in what he demands.
Well, as long as you're willing to work hard every single day on every possession, you can play for Tom Thibodeau. This is a guy who constantly preaches the importance of the little things, and he wants proper defense to become second nature for his team.
Let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I listened to Tom Thibodeau talking to his team during the break. He told them flat out, we are turning the ball over too much, guys. We can't keep making the hero ball play. Slow it down, run the offense, and make the safe pass. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Towns. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
Well, beautifully done by Towns, using the up fake to bait the defender.
And Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Tibbs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end.
First one falls for him. Brown is checked in for Minnesota. And Towns drops them both. The Knicks leading by 13. Here's Ntilikina. He kicks it to Hardaway. He dishes it to Carmelo. Just 5 to shoot. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup.
You know, that's one thing Melo has always been able to do. Use his strength to overpower you and get the advantage.
Towns sets the pick for T. Kicks it to Brown. Towns down low. Hernan Gomez covering.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. The feed now to Hardaway. They set the screen. Steps back and fires. The shot off that time. And Minnesota will come the other way. Teague with a clean look. And the three off target.
Well, that's the shot they want. He always has the green light when he's that open. Boy, one miss isn't going to change that.
Outside Anthony. Anthony missing again. Timberwolves trail by 13. T kicks to Towns. Brown outside. Ntilikina with the rebound. On the wing, Hardaway. Lets the three fly. And it's Hardaway again missing. And here is Brown. Left side, Butler dishes it to Towns. And he gets it to go. Towns has got 10 points in just the second half.
Well, he just keeps rolling right now. What a terrific quarter for him on the offensive end.
Here's Anthony. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. Brown outside. Teague with the ball. The kick out to Brown. No good on the three. Anthony in the corner. Nailed from three-point land. And the Knicks lead by 14.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
Brown kicks to Butler. Towns the screen. Back to Brown. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Yeah, and that's just Butler staying alert, right? He keeps his eyes up. He's willing to make the extra pass. This guy understands the game.
Feeds it to Anthony. Goes up the baseline. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Anthony's got 19 points.
I mean, if you're looking to get back into this game, you have to get tougher defensively.
Here's Towns. Ntilikina with the rebound. Ntilikina's got his 4th rebound in this one. That doesn't go, but he's 5 for 11.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
I'm not sure why he doesn't continue to move the basketball. Would have served that team much better.
Towns, no luck. New York leading by 14. Pass to Ntilikina. Back to Hardaway. There's the screen. Here's Ntilikina. The Knicks rebound. Porzingis kicks to Hardaway. Off target with the open look.
Well, you just wonder if maybe he should take it inside when they're playing so far off him.
Teague the pass to Gibson. Butler dishes to Towns. Lays it up and banks it in. Towns has got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Boy, he's carried his share of the load tonight, Kev. But he might need to carry even more if they're going to turn this thing around.
Hernan Gomez kicks to Hardaway. Anthony against Brown. No good off the pick.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
Well, if he wasn't there, that shot's going in. Love the effort on the defensive end.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Well, Taj Gibson is a big-time power player. This guy remarkable at getting hit and able to finish nonetheless.
Lee's checked in for New York. Minnesota also with the sub. Bielitsa's checked in.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Well, Taj Gibson is a pro's pro. The rugged power forward is known for his consistency. You can count on this guy game in and game out.
Here's Ntilikina. Pass to Porzingis. To the inside. It's deflected. Towns with the steal. It's Bielitsa. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. New York leading by 9. Outside, Porzingis. Dish now to Lee. Back to Porzingis. Anthony kicks to Porzingis. They set the pick. From deep. 6 on the shot clock. The shot's good from Ntilikina. And the Knicks lead by 12.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Knicks.
They found a great rhythm from long range.
Yeah, Kevin, every time they left a man open deep, he'd get a good shot at the basket. Didn't hesitate, and that aggression paid off.
Now that's a beautiful in-between game. Towns just so pure on that shot.
Anthony, the pass to Porzingis. Lee outside. Porzingis kicks to Anthony. Screen by Porzingis. Ntilikina can't hit.
Hey, the defense is content to let him prove he can make that shot, and so far, he cannot.
Baseline J on the way. Unable to get that one. Now the Knicks take it the other way. And the pass to Hernan Gomez. And that one, good.
And giving the fans what they came to see, a spirited performance.
Yeah, it really was. They wanted this home win badly, and they went out and took it.
Oh, boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
The free throw drops for Towns. So it's New York picking up the win. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. I think they built off that edge of being here and playing with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Carmelo, what did you like best about the win tonight?
We just played hard. We came out here ready to play. We jumped out there quick on the defensive end, and offensively we got it going again. And it was a great team win today, though.
Everybody contributing. Carmelo, thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.